This is where we belong.
Sup gamers, what's new? With Starfield on the fast approaching horizon, it's time to dig into and pick apart from the vast array of details, news, and information overload, separating the garbage from the game changers. If you're a Bethesda fan, or alternatively a space gaming fan and Star Citizen fan like myself, you are going to play Starfield. Or, at a minimum, you're curious about what Starfield has to offer. At the end of this video, you will 1. Know the exact type of character to create from their looks, to traits, to skills. 2. Understand the interface layout and controls of the game, such as the compass, scanning, breathing regulation, and ship resource management. 3. You will be able to decide on which companion best complements your character and playstyle. 4. Understand the capabilities and limitations of the game, from caves to food buffs to solar system levels. But before we get started, I need to be honest with you. I've never played a Bethesda game before Starfield. I confess, I was playing XCOM, Star Citizen, Eve, Star Trek, WoW, No Man's Sky, Elite, and just about every other RPG out there. We will get through this together. Okay, all joking aside, let's jump right into it with the breakdowns. Alright, so we have a lot to cover, but I organized it so it's super simple. Step 1, create a version of yourself, your sci-fi idol, your crush, old, young. This is all available. The biometric ID tab is basically where you select your starting character template look. We know about 20 of the 40 plus available templates. In the body tab, under the build type, you can select one of many preset options or manually adjust your build. Additionally, select a walking style and skin tone. Everything from eyes to makeup to tattoos can be completed in the face tab. Tip number 1. All of these options can easily be changed later by visiting a genetics facility. Tip number 2. All in-game and AI characters were created with the same interface, so all the cool in-game characters can be recreated here. Selecting a background will 1. Identify the role that other characters will identify you as, i.e. long hauler versus a diplomat, and open up new dialogue and possibly questing opportunities. Your background selection will secondly give you a jump on unlocking 3 starting skills, keeping in mind that you can continuously unlock more skills as you level, so this does not cause any significant impact skill-wise over time. As a chef, you immediately unlock the starting skills gastronomy, dueling, and salvaging. The diplomat background unlocks persuasion, commerce, and wellness. Here's a helpful tip. You can easily identify the associated category of a skill badge by its color and outline, i.e. blue circle for the science category. You can select 3 optional traits. Traits add an additional layer of depth and uniqueness to your character with a trade-off. For example, you can enjoy some nice default accommodations, but at a cost. Faction alignment perks can make other factions more hostile. Health bonuses at the cost of being wanted or weakened on planets versus space. There's also an option for a free but annoying companion. You now have everything you need to create a character based on the current info. Say for example, we want to create the legend Captain Picard. You would select one of the older biometric ID templates, set a slim build, fair skin, slightly beady eyes, balding, gray hair, and if you really want to go ham, add a face scar for the Locutus look. Background will be Explorer, and the starting skills lasers, astrodynamics, and surveying sounds perfect. Okay, for traits, you definitely want to select Introvert, Terra Firma for the land buff, and definitely Hero Worship for that Q vibe. If you can't tell, I'm having fun already. We gotta do one more. Han Solo. Let's pick our biometric ID number. We're going for a muscular build with locks. Should we choose Cyber Runner, Long Hauler, or Gangster as his background? Definitely Cyber Runner, which provides pistol certification, security, and persuasion. With pistol certification, he gets a 10% damage boost. The security class buffs his hacking capabilities, and the persuasion class literally speaks for itself. And finally, traits. I'm loving the Neon Street Rat for his connections to the underworld. Space, because we all know that while in space, Han Solo is pretty much unstoppable, but he is literally petrified on ground. And finally, extrovert, because you can't forget about Chewbacca. Sounds like a perfect fit. One can immediately see how planning this out will bring your character to life and make you feel more attached to your character, for better or for worse. Congratulations! You should now be able to create your character, or at a minimum begin developing some interesting concepts. Let's keep it moving. Companions. So, who do you want to join you in this journey? In life, everyone needs a Riker, Chewie, Robin, Starbuck, and this game is no different. Which of the below known companions best complements your character and complements what you want to do in game? You need someone to man your ship? Check out Barrett. Need someone to manage your outpost? Check out Heller or Sarah Morgan. And round it out with Sam Coe, Marika Boris, and Vasco for security and firepower. Use the crew roster to manage all your companions. My first tip will be to notice that the companions max out at 4 skills. Tip number 2, be cognizant of the associated ranks for your companions. Skills. You gain a skill point every time you level. In Starfield, expect 5 skill trees or categories, 16 skills in each tree, and each skill can be ranked up 4 times. The skill point 1 can be used to unlock a new skill, or 2 rank up a current skill. On a side note, you do not have to solely use a skill point to rank up a skill. You can alternatively rank up your skills by completing the associated challenges. Right now, the whole skill system may seem overwhelming, so let's address that. Overall, you do not need to be concerned with the ins and outs of every category. This will all be revealed in time. Focus on which category most fits you and your character's playstyle, and which final tier 4 skill most interests you, because that is what you should be working towards. Let that category be your major focus, and other interests are minor. For example, if you like the tier 4 Xeno Sociology skill, which allows you to mind control creatures, then your major focus should be the social category tree. If you prefer the tier 4 Neurostrike, which basically turns you into One Punch Man, then the physical category should be your main focus. The tier 1 skill of Surveying and targeting component control locks are great minor focuses to examine for any play style. Here's a tip: save your skill points for the difficult, higher level challenges, or ones that you don't want to spend the time on to complete. Displays. To have a good start in the game, it is vitally important to understand your display interface. Obviously, your display will change to match the circumstance. We are going to examine these displays and their functionality, such as walking, scanning, FPS, space combat, and inventory. Many of the displays are mapped below. Familiarize yourself with their capabilities. They are mostly self-explanatory, but feel free to share your thoughts. Here's a tip: the radar contains a small triangular icon pointing due north. For better views, switch between first and third person. Ships. Your first ship is the Frontier, but it won't be your last. Of course, you can customize it and upgrade it to your heart's desire, but on top of this, you can own an entire fleet of ships. Ownership can be acquired by cash or by force. Now, when I say force, I mean to use the tactical control system skill to target and focus fire the enemy's engines, then dock, board, and neutralize. Presented are some of the known ships available in-game. Here's a tip: your damaged ship can be repaired at the shipping yard. Armor. There are spacesuits, packs, helmets, and apparel. Expect to control the armor's visibility. Expect common, rare, and legendary items to be lootable from crates. Expect specialized armor for certain planets and situations. Weapons. Look at all the weapons. From Contra to Doom to Phantom Dust, you can never have enough weapons. Gladly, I have yet to hear anyone ever complain about there being too many weapons in a game. Listed are some of the known weapons in Starfield, all of which can be customized, modified, and thoroughly equipped with attachments. Crafting and research stations at outposts or ships will allow you to mod such things as your weapon's receiver, internal, optics, magazine, muzzle, etc. For example, with the proper resources, you can make armor-piercing rounds, explosive rounds, white-hot rounds, small, medium, and drum-size magazines. In the case of armor-piercing rounds, you will need tungsten, adhesive, and lead. Did you know that shooting ballistic weapons in 0G will push you backwards? Mag weapons can deliver high damage but eat a lot of ammo. From a glance, blocking melee attacks with a melee weapon appears to be a thing. Factions. Which group of Qons will you befriend, and which will be your enemy? Below is a list of the expected major and minor factions, along with their description. Locations. Below are some of the more popular faction-occupied cities, and where you can expect to spend the majority of the time when you first start out. Systems and planets. Expect each planet to contain a unique set of resources, structures, and planetary traits. On average, expect at least one planet in each solar system to contain life. Expect there to be a difficulty level and controlling faction for each system. Planetary traits are different from your character's traits or skills. Planetary traits are unique traits that can be unlocked by scanning and surveying a planet. The number of planetary traits can vary per planet. Traits can add bonuses to your character and outpost. For example, the skills Ecological Consortium and Gravitational Anomaly have been unlocked on the planet Tidature 1. Expect these traits to provide a possible efficiency boost and mass limit increase for your outpost. Tip number 1. There are character skills that will increase your chances of unlocking planetary traits. Tip number 2. Throughout the verse, expect to find all types of stars, from yellow dwarfs to red giants to neutron stars. Personally, I am excited about flying through a nebula and escaping with my ship still intact. Outpost. Outpost can be your side hustle, main hustle, or your bachelor/bachelorette pad. Build it to your heart's contempt, or at least to the limits of your power, resource, foundation, and number of structure limitations. Here's a tip. Building your outpost around local wildlife will allow you to farm their associated resource. For example, upon scanning this swarming dragon, aside from displaying its health, abilities, biome location, and temperament, it also indicates what resource it produces. In this case, it is sealant, which, as we saw, can be used to craft such things as building a habitat. What else? Did I mention that the camera has a built-in pose feature? Of course, your ships are fully customizable, and you can hail any ship and demand goods. You can also repair your ship. Pickpocketing and stealth is a thing. And now for one of my favorite parts, aliens. Shown below are some of the aliens you can expect in game. Wrapping it up, let's review the pros and cons. The pros. You have to appreciate the scale of the game. With over 1,000 planets, 10% containing life, while the others contain minerable materials. Character creation is a minigame in and of itself, with a cool option to manipulate your character's age and some great RPG options to choose from. A large number of companions to join and buff your playstyle. Buyable and fully customizable ships, outposts, and habitats to rent. And now for the cons. The lack of multiplayer probably hurts me the most. It's okay. Don't worry about me. I'll get over it. Next up, those arcadey ship battles. Leaves a bad taste, but you should be able to wash it down with the cool component ship targeting ability. And obviously, they cut some additional corners and avoided the development nightmare of adding vehicles, atmospheric entry, and free flight between planets. Let's follow up with a section I like to call bonds and Qons, where bonds are yet to be determined. They could be a pro, they could be a con, or they could be a combination of both. And Qons are unanswered questions or topics yet to be revealed. I do love a good challenge, and I'm hoping that a higher difficulty level will turn on fuel management. But on second thought, currently flying is fairly limited to space battles and the such. So it's kind of hard to say. Actually, after doing some additional research, you can clearly see that general flight fuel is not a thing, but alternatively, jump fuel between solar systems is, so this has to be accounted for. I see crafting working if it allows you to make a large percentage of in-game items better. And now for the Qons. General escape pods appear to be a no-go, especially considering that it will require additional gameplay features. This is just an observation, but did you notice that when seated in the cockpit, no one wears a backpack? Also notice that there's a storage container and exposure pack behind the seat as well. On a side note, you never appear to run out of oxygen in your suit or ship, and your rocket backpack fuel auto-regenerates quickly. It appears that the loss of gravity on a ship is most likely linked to disabled engines. And it appears that outdoor EVAing is limited to specific events or missions. Swimming, mech power suits. This appears to be highly likely as the tech is readily available. The ability to land on water and create underwater outposts seems doubtful and more likely to be in a future DLC. I am hopeful for intelligent alien life, alien spaceships, and neutron star systems, but I am seriously dreading the possibility of long loading screens. Let me know what you think. Congratulations, we made it to the end of the video. I hope you found it useful, and I hope you learned something. By the way, I'm biblically. One reason they call me biblically is because every video I put out is a Bible, a source of helpful, purposeful, unique information that's packed into a single video. Although it's painstaking and far from perfect, it's always an honor to share with my fellow gamers. You have my thanks, and as always, Godspeed.
Don't even make it this far.
Because whatever lies at the end,
Most of
as to what they are, what they're building.
Hey, come on, come on. Okay, take it easy. You were out cold. No physical damage. Mentally, the jury's still out. You know who you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors? Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar?
So, you found something?
the new guy found it.
You dug up the artifact, right? That means you saw it. The visions? Hey, take this. You'll find it very useful out there. And it even tells the time.
Welcome to UC Space. Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's cargo. Scan complete. You are cleared for landing at New Atlantis.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about. We're all here because we're committed to the biggest question of all. The artifact. If you could place it on the table here.
Oh my god. Look at how it's coming together.
That means there's a set built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
These artifacts could be everything we've been looking for. You'll be part of solving that puzzle now. We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry. We are not stopping. The artifact you found appears to be one of many, scattered across the galaxy. If we can find more, we can unlock their secrets.
Beautiful, isn't it? The man who sold me this told me that it spoke to him.
Of course. Forever.
Human settlements throughout the galaxy.
Constellation Star Station.